Hello Reddit. This is my first post here, so bear with me. I want to share a story about my husband and a secret he's been keeping. Spoiler, it ends in a very sweet and unexpected way. Here goes. I 36F have been married to my husband 37M for 10 years. We've had our ups and downs, but overall, we've had a great life together. However, a few months ago, I started to notice some strange behavior. My husband, who I'll call Tom, began taking frequent work trips. These trips seemed to happen more often than usual, and he would always come back looking more tired than when he left. At first, I didn't think much of it. Tom is a hard worker, and his job does require some travel. But then I started to notice little things that made me suspicious. He was more secretive with his phone, and sometimes I'd catch him texting late at night. When I asked him about it, he'd just say it was work-related. One evening, I saw a message pop up on his phone from a contact named Project Sunshine. Curious, I asked him about it, and he quickly brushed it off as a work project. Something about his demeanor didn't sit right with me. My gut was telling me there was more to it. A couple of weeks later, Tom left for another work trip. This time, I decided to investigate further. While he was in the shower, I took a peek at his laptop. I felt guilty invading his privacy, but my mind was racing with all sorts of worst-case scenarios. To my surprise, there were no incriminating emails or messages. Everything seemed normal, except for one document titled Operation SS. My curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. What I found was a detailed plan for something called Operation Surprise Smile. It included dates, locations, and names I didn't recognize. I was puzzled and slightly relieved that it didn't seem like he was having an affair, but still, what was Operation SS? I decided to confront him. That night, as we were getting ready for bed, I asked him directly, Tom, what is Operation SS? His face turned pale, and he looked genuinely shocked that I knew about it. He hesitated, then said, it's a secret. But I promise it's nothing bad. Just trust me, okay? That answer didn't satisfy me, but I let it go for the time being. Over the next few weeks, Tom continued his mysterious trips, and I continued to feel uneasy. I couldn't shake the feeling that he was hiding something big from me. One evening, after Tom left for another trip, I decided to dig deeper. I contacted his best friend, Mark, hoping he could shed some light on the situation. Mark was hesitant at first, but eventually, he said, look, I can't tell you much, but I promise Tom loves you more than anything. Just trust him. Frustrated and still in the dark, I spent the next few days anxiously waiting for Tom to return. When he finally did, he seemed more nervous than usual. He sat me down and said, I need to show you something. He pulled out his laptop and opened a folder labeled Operation SS. Inside were dozens of documents, photos, and plans. He took a deep breath and said, Operation SS stands for Surprise Smile. I've been planning something special for our 10th anniversary. Tears welled up in my eyes as he continued. I know I've been secretive, and I'm sorry for making you worry. But I wanted to do something extraordinary for you. I've been working with a team of people to organize a surprise vacation for us. It's a trip to all the places we've talked about visiting over the years. I've been saving up and planning every detail to make it perfect. I was stunned. All this time, I thought the worst, and here he was, planning the most incredible surprise. He showed me the itinerary: Paris, Venice, Santorini, and a week-long stay at a secluded beach resort. There were personalized activities, romantic dinners, and even a vow renewal ceremony. I wanted it to be a surprise, he said, but I see now that my secrecy caused you pain. I'm so sorry for that. I love you, and I just wanted to make our anniversary unforgettable. I couldn't hold back my tears. I hugged him tightly and said, You've already made it unforgettable. I'm so sorry I doubted you. Tom wiped away my tears and said, You had every right to be suspicious. I should have been more transparent, but now, you know the truth, and I hope you can forgive me. We spent the rest of the evening going through the plans together. It was the most heartfelt and thoughtful gesture anyone had ever done for me. Tom's secret wasn't an affair or anything nefarious. It was a labor of love, a testament to our years together and the many more to come. We went on that trip, and it was everything he promised and more. Our love grew stronger, and I learned a valuable lesson about trust and communication. Sometimes, secrets are kept for the sweetest reasons, and love can surprise you in the most unexpected ways. Update 1. Hello Reddit. I'm back with an update. Thank you all for your kind words and support after my last post. If you haven't read it, my husband Tom 37M had been acting suspiciously for months. I discovered something called Operation SS, which he claimed was a surprise anniversary trip. I was relieved and touched at the time, but things took a dark turn, and I feel I need to share what really happened. After the initial relief from discovering Operation SS was a surprise anniversary trip, I tried to relax and enjoy the excitement of our upcoming vacation. However, a nagging feeling kept me on edge. Something didn't sit right with me, despite Tom's heartfelt explanation. I couldn't shake off the months of secrecy and strange behavior. About a week later, I ran into Mark, Tom's best friend, while out shopping. Remembering how hesitant he was during our last conversation, I decided to trust my instincts and asked him if we could grab a coffee. As we sat down, I pressed Mark for the truth about Tom's Operation SS. Mark looked uncomfortable and fidgeted with his coffee cup before revealing that Tom hadn't been honest with me. Operation SS stood for Secret Serenity, not Surprise Smile. Tom had been planning trips with another woman, his coworker, Lisa. They had been seeing each other for over a year. Hearing this revelation, I felt a crushing wave of betrayal and anger. Mark explained that those plans Tom had shown me were originally for him and Lisa, hastily changed when I confronted him. Despite his hesitation, Mark felt compelled to tell me the truth, believing I deserved to know. We devised a plan to confront Tom and involve Lisa. Mark contacted Lisa, arranging to meet her at a local cafe under the guise of discussing something urgent. Meanwhile, I told Tom that Mark had invited us to dinner to discuss something important. Tom seemed uneasy but agreed to go. When we arrived at the cafe, Lisa was already there, looking confused. Tom's face went pale when he saw her. Together, Mark and I confronted Tom, exposing the truth about Operation Secret Serenity and his affair with Lisa. Lisa, in tears, admitted she knew Tom was married but believed they were separating due to Tom's lies. With the truth laid bare, I made it clear to Tom that our marriage was over. I told him I wanted a divorce and demanded he move out that night. Defeated, Tom gathered his belongings and left, realizing the gravity of his actions. The days that followed were difficult. The truth, no matter how painful, was better than living a lie. Tom's betrayal taught me the importance of trust and honesty in a relationship, and I vowed to never settle for anything less. Update 2. Hello Reddit. I'm back with another update. After the overwhelming support and encouragement from my last posts, I feel it's only right to share the latest developments. The twists and turns in my story have left me reeling, and I hope that sharing it will help me process everything. After discovering my husband Tom's 37M affair with his coworker Lisa, I decided to file for divorce. The betrayal was too deep, and I knew I couldn't stay with someone who had deceived me so thoroughly. With the support of friends and family, I navigated the painful process of ending my marriage. During this difficult time, Mark 38M, Tom's best friend, was incredibly supportive. He was there for me in ways I never expected. We spent a lot of time together, and eventually, our relationship evolved into something more. Mark had always been a straight shooter, and his honesty and kindness were a comfort to me. I felt like I had found a silver lining in the midst of my heartbreak. Months passed, and I started to rebuild my life. Mark and I grew closer, and it felt like I had finally found happiness again. But just when I thought things were getting better, I discovered something that turned my world upside down once more. One evening, while going through some old files on my computer, I stumbled upon an email from Tom that I had missed. It was from months ago, just before I found out about Operation SS. The email detailed a series of plans for a surprise anniversary trip. Every detail matched what Tom had shown me when he claimed it was for us. Confused and feeling a surge of doubt, I decided to dig deeper. I reached out to a few of Tom's coworkers and friends to verify the details. What I uncovered shocked me to my core. Operation SS was, in fact, meant to be a surprise anniversary trip for Tom and me. The romantic getaway, the personalized activities, and the vow renewal ceremony were all planned for us. Realizing the truth, I confronted Mark. I needed to understand why he had lied to me about Tom and Lisa. The confrontation was intense. Mark initially denied everything, but as I presented the evidence, his facade crumbled. He finally admitted that he had lied about Operation SS being for Tom and Lisa. He had been in love with me for years and saw my suspicions as an opportunity to drive a wedge between Tom and me. He manipulated the situation to make it seem like Tom was cheating, knowing it would lead to our separation. I felt an overwhelming sense of betrayal. Mark had been my rock, the person I trusted most after my marriage fell apart, and now I realized he had been manipulating me all along. I couldn't believe the extent of his deceit and the lengths he went to for his own selfish desires. Feeling devastated, I broke things off with Mark immediately. The betrayal was too much to bear, and I needed time to process everything. I reached out to Tom. Tom and I are not getting back together. We both recognize that too much damage has been done. But we have found a way to communicate and support each other through this difficult time. We're focusing on healing and moving forward, each in our own way. As for Mark, I've cut all ties with him. The depth of his betrayal is something I can't forgive. It will take time to rebuild my trust in people, but I know I'm strong enough to get through this.